see if this thing is working here. That would be really weird if I figured out what I'm doing. Let's see. Okay. See if this is working. Rotate the screen. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. I think I'm good. Of course, there's nobody here, but that's cool. I expected anywhere from 3 to, 30 total subscribers in my first year, and I'm way past that. All right. Okay. If you couldn't tell, I'm here at the Big Blue Bullshitter. Yes. Okay. All right. So, I thought, when thinking about what to talk about today, I've been asked, I figure I'll talk on a subject that I get asked questions about no matter what. If someone finds out you're in this, you were in this, they eventually want to know, how the hell did that happen? How did they do it? Especially people who think you're a smart, witty person, like, you got sucked into this? Which, of course, if you believe that, then you should realize just how good this is. It's a really well put together mind F. And they do a really good job of it, because the only thing that they do well in this entire place, if I had to be completely frank, I would say, because of course I would love to give them F- on everything, but the truth is, where they do really well is with new public, because you don't know their bullshit yet. Protesters sometimes, that makes a certain amount of people go, I want to see for myself. And the best people I ever met in Scientology were the people at the beginning of your journey in this. So when they get someone super likable, they'll put them in LA Day. That's where the beginners go. And it's sort of their job to make sure you don't find out this is Scientology right away. That's sort of what it boils down to. They know that if they put you, if anyone walked into the academy and just sat there for 5 minutes, there'd be no way you could ever close that person into coming in here. There'd be no way. You would think you literally broke into the cuckoo's nest. You'd see people goofing with clay, asking stupid questions. People, put the ashtray down. Do fish swim? And just people fucking around with, paper clips and, And heaven forbid you walked in on the hip hip hooray. You'd be like, yeah, I left something in the car. Beep, beep, zip, bang, you'd be out of there. Oh, some people showed up. Let's see here. All right. Oh, okay. People can watch it later. It's all good. Hey, girl. 2 cans. This is really happening. All right. right, welcome. For some reason, I can't read the one on top there. So LA Day is, that's where the scam starts, okay? So, for instance, you're walking down Hollywood Boulevard. You guys have all seen that test center, right? That's where, you notice they dress them differently. They didn't give them the cheap, goofy, stinky, wrinkly blue outfit. They gave them the tight-fitting, vests, and they always take the young kids and put them out there. Because the average age of Scientology staff has got to be about 72 now. But you treat everyone with kid gloves, and the thing is, that test, that personality test, the reason why I want anyone who can hear this to understand, that is the linchpin. Without that personality test, they can't do shit here. They're literally helpless without that. The pinch test doesn't matter. No one gives a shit how the E-meter works. The movies they have, I don't want to help them, but the truth is, the movies they show people are so colossally, they're just pure failure. That makes it impossible to recruit. The personality test is the only reason they can get somebody in here. And the reason is, I don't know if you guys have ever looked into like the fortune teller type scam. A really good fortune teller, or medium and all that, can be very, very impressive. But there's a method to the madness. And even though the guy said 47 names, the fact that 4 of them are your immediate family, or that's all you remember. It's a really good parlor trick. And what that test does is it gives them the answers they need for their parlor trick. That's literally what that does. So, those 200 so-called innocuous questions allow them to know. Not that it takes a genius to figure this out anyway, because, by the way, that didn't come from Oxford. They want you to believe that. It has nothing to do with the university, the same name. But it, what do people have problems with? I'm not a psychologist, but let me take a guess. Health, fitness, relationships, work. What do you think? I bet I nailed it. Does that make me a genius? No, I'm a complete idiot, and I know this. So the reality is, they're able to use the answers to this test to find your ruin, and they can nail it. Now they're not just guessing. Now they can, your relationship beat the shit out of you. Family problems. But regardless, there's going to be, whenever you have a lot of strife, you always tend to feel more alone. Okay? And that's another thing that works to their advantage. So then they love bomb you. You go into LA Day here that I'm pointing at, right there, behind that tree. And you would never know what you're getting into. You have no fucking idea. Because they treat you totally normal. So you told the guy over at the test center, they're like, we can help you with this, the problem with your wife, or or with your problem with you and your mom. And you're like, wow, man, I could really use some help because everything I'm doing ain't working. It's only $40. Fuck, spend that on a couple beers at the concert, whatever. Let's, okay, fuck, what do I got, let's do it. And what is ever the famous last words? If it doesn't, help me, I'm only out $40. No, get ready to be out about 20 years and $2 million. So the thing is, there are some very simple things that you're willing to believe when you're under a lot of duress. Okay? People can come at you with a bunch of common sense shit, and you will immediately be like, wow, they really know what they're talking about. But if they do such a good job of listening, and they're not really feigning that they care, I think they do care. Like I said, there's a lot of good people in here. And that's why, at the beginning, sometimes your bullshit meter doesn't even go off because they're good people. That said, this shit doesn't work. And the reason, there's no way you could keep staff if you rush them up the bridge, because they would soon know this is 100% horseshit. And you can't have your staff knowing that and keep going. Hold on. How fun would it be to drive the back of that thing? I'm sure I'd crash the shit out of it, but it'd be fun. So all of it just works perfectly. They find your ruin. They find a course that is basically named after your ruin. And it's only $40. And the nicest people you ever met are there. And when you go into course, no one's doing anything weird. They know your spidey sense is maxed out, right? So no one's, coming in there screaming and yelling or acting a fool, or you're not going to hear anyone, screaming, "Do birds fly?" Or some, person playing with their tits and bull baiting or whatever to get someone to move. You're not going to see anything. You're going to see another person doing a $40 course. And you know what? Everyone else was nice. So that guy's nice too. He's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" You're like, "Good. Is this your first day?" "No, my second." "Oh, cool." And all of a sudden you got all this like warm, strong, wonderful feeling that we all look and long for when things are shit. That's how this place makes a living. And LA Day is what you're looking at right there. That's the only place where you wouldn't swear. I mean, you go anywhere else in any of these buildings and you'll be like, "Oh my God, they're all off the rocker." Completely off their fucking rocker. So this is how they do it. Now, they only let you do about 2-3 quarters. You can't really fuck around in there long. I mean, especially if they get wind that, you're employed. You have you got an ATM card. You didn't take the bus to the place. They're going to get on you quick to, they're going to hit you with that. Now that you're doing good, right? You got some momentum. You're not fucking around. You stop, smoking crack. You stop beating up people, whatever. We got you on the right path. Now's the time to shine. Instead of just fixing a couple problems, let's fix the real problems. And then, we're all good. And you're just like, fuck yeah. I mean, it's just a pitch everyone wants to be true. Take Scientology out of it and just put any name you want there. If I pitch that to you, you want it to be true. Who the hell wouldn't? And so if you're already liking the last 12 people you met and everything else, you're like, "Oh my God, it's just so sane in here. This is the exact opposite of my dad screaming at me, or my crazy uncle, or my dipshit boss, or my whatever." And quite honestly, without this, they would not have a chance. And this cannot work without that personality test nailing you. That's how you get nailed. So make sure you tell everybody that you've ever known. The only thing you need to know about Scientology is don't ever take that personality test. Because then they don't have a chance in hell. They couldn't reg $5. Oh, that registrar. In other words, they couldn't sell anything. They couldn't do shit. They keep the superpower people away from all the people that you're going to find working at LA Day, by the way. Like, none of those guys are going over to AO later at night and doing shit. The reason those OSA people work together, too, is they're normally, the Cracker Jacks or the brightest of the bright, and if you don't put those people to work and give them a hell of a lot of power and authority and game, they're going to call bullshit on this pretty soon. Because don't forget, this is a heady thing, especially back in the late 80s, 90s, or early 90s. This shit was off the chain. You couldn't get a parking spot within 4 blocks of here. They had it firing on all cylinders. But what happens, with any kind of bullshit, there's an expiration date on the horse shit. So that's why it was imperative to have 9 and 10, OT 9, 10 through 15, which don't exist. And imagine, even though, come on, how many times can you get fooled? Fool me once, fool me twice. If you fool me 8 times, okay, I get through OT 8. Because, don't forget, the truth revealed. You get to OT 8 of what you learn. Now that you know who you aren't, you're ready to know who you are. That's what you leave OT 8 with. Okay? That's what you knew the day you entered LA Day. You get nowhere. Thanks for coming. So if you're one of those cats, you're praying like hell there's a 9 and a 10. What the fuck at this point? Please tell me there's something more to this bullshit. Oh, Lord. Especially if you hang in there for a few years, because you're going to be one of those people acting like you had wins. That's got to be the most embarrassing moment you could ever have. You're at the apex of a religion, right? You've just reached the absolute top. Truth revealed. Bring it. And you're in the exact same boat you were the day you got there. But now you have to go out and say, I did it. And you got to act like you won the Super Bowl and landed on the moon in the same day. So if not having those ready, because they need a whole new thing now, right? Because the body thetans are over, okay, by OT8. And in OT8, they actually reveal you never needed to do any of this bullshit you were doing the first 7 OT levels. It's just cockamamie nonsense. So, and Ron's the Antichrist. Great. But, like I said, you're so twisted. I'm sure by the time you walk out, I cannot believe someone didn't just drop their drawers. I cannot believe it. That's the only response that would make sense to me. Would be to be at like the don't say shit, and then you get your diploma and just drop trow and wipe your ass with that at the LRH birthday party and chuck it out into the crowd. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. But to actually stand there for 5 minutes and then get applause at every 3 syllables. Let me tell you something. Since OT8, there ain't nothing I can't do. I just look at it and boom, zing, vee. Nothing. The world is buttered toast. Okay? Woo! There's diamonds between my toes every morning. These guys have no idea. And like I said, the reason why the staff can defend them. Oh, I saw people saying I'm ex-Sea Org. I'm not ex-Sea Org. That guy that met DOA or whatever said he saw me, and he thought I was ex-CO or Sea Org, and then it just sort of took off. I have never, thank God, I never had to do that shit. No, just public. But yeah, so the staff can protect the way they do because they don't know. They can always say, I need to get there, I've just been so busy, and I'm basically sacrificing myself for everyone else already. So they need all hands on deck to get whatever done. So I'll do my training later. And then there's a ton of people like Aaron who were smart enough and slick enough. I wish I knew how he did it because it blows me away. But to avoid auditing. That is genius. Oh, that is genius. That is the best move I've ever heard. I know what he's saying. I would, if there was a rock to hide under, believe me, I would have. LA Day. This place is cool. Obviously it's shit, but I'm saying it's the only place I have a memory that's not just awful. I love how they got cameras on the other side of the street. Okay. I don't remember that Bell place. I don't know. Obviously, I was too busy drowning in this crap. Man, there would literally be 50 people hanging out on these stairs. Because one thing about Scientologists, every last one of them smokes 7 packs a day, so they'd all be out here smoking. And there'd be, I'm telling you, there was never a time there wasn't 15 people jaywalking on this street. Never. This is so crazy. Your whole pitch is you can confront and overcome and shatter and all that. And what do? Emergency, close the blinds. There's a dude walking down the street. I mean, that alone. Once you get that bulletin, that order that says, close up shop. That Raider dude's walking down the fucking, and you actually do, are you getting that van to ride 12 feet? The game's up, man. You're just wondering how to get out. So SPTV Foundation will get you out of this mess. That is a absolute perfect way out of here. And like I say, I know how, for anyone who's who might be hearing this, or who ends up hearing this, I know how twisted it is. It took me years, knowing I didn't get any gains, to convince myself I didn't get any gains. Because you convinced yourself that you did. That's how you get to the next day over here. Oh, shit. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, everybody. It's hard to read this. Paris, really happening. Let's see. Yeah, so here's where you take the biggest shot in the gut ever. Well, I guess it's a tie. Because I see the thing is, I would never get to OT8 because after OT3 I'd be running like hell. But this is where you do that, and they give you they strap that crap to your wrist, and you just go, oh fuck, yeah, I can't even imagine. Oh my god. And to pay that kind of money, it's bad enough if it was free, it could kill you. Oh man. Anyway, that's how this all works, and that's all I was trying to cover today. I think, and I also want to say goodbye to Selfless Self, who I think this is his last day out here, which really sucks if that's the case, because he's just hella fun and a big part of the reason why I'm here. But then again, so's everybody in the community. I mean, you know, it took watching everybody for me to, you know, say I got to do this. How can people who were never in, you know, work this hard for? Come on, you know. And that's what I'm hoping I do to other people who were born in, who are now out like me, to even people who were in, to say, you know, it ain't never too late to get the fuck out of here, and whatever time you got left, you know, let it be under your own power and your own will. And you know, that sums it up really. So I'm trying to keep these relatively short. I appreciate your guys' time, but I don't want to monopolize it. So love you guys. Thanks for coming out. And let me see here. Can I see this better over here? Hold on. A little darker over here. Maybe I can see this. Okay. Paris, thank you. Annette, hello. This is really happening. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Can you believe it? 15 people listening to my bullshit. God bless you guys. I really do appreciate you. And I'm just going to go over, like I say, the questions that I've been asked, okay, and cover those bases and take you through what I went through. You'll know what it's like to do these courses and to go up the bridge to where I got and beyond, and what that's really like and what it entails and what you learn and what you lose. So love you guys, and I will see you again soon. Okay, take care.